Yes, we are on high octane tonight. High octane. We're rolling with it. Welcome to the American Freedom Caucus. So, American Patriot first, Conservative second, and Republican third. I am your host, Chris Gerlach. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, this is what we're talking about. What everyone else is talking about. I mean, this is the coup, the impeachment that's going on in our country. Well, let's call it what it really is. A coup by the deep state, right? This isn't even a real impeachment inquiry. You can't even get into the room where they're doing this stuff. Adam Schiff keeps it locked down, and actually today, Steve Scalise tried to go in with a bunch of Republican representatives to try to see what's going on in there, and they were shown the door. They were shown out. They can't even get a copy of anything, which, this is not what the Constitution provides. It is supposed to be, hey, transparency. We got, impeachment queries, you can look it up. Sixth Amendment, we can look at everything, okay? So, but what are we doing here? Are the liberals that hard up? What are we impeaching for? A phone call to a world leader. They say, quid pro quo. Well, the transcript of the phone call was released, and there wasn't any redactions on it. It came out clear, right? Now we have not one, but two whistleblowers. Two whistleblowers. Who are these whistleblowers? We don't even know who these whistleblowers are. They both have had secondhand knowledge of the phone call. Who are these people? I really want to know who these people were. Now, I was listening to the great one, Mark Levin, the other day. He mentioned that the whistleblowers were big supporters of a Democratic candidate for president. Really? This sounds like Russia election gate all over again. That failed investigation by Robert Mueller that wasted millions of taxpayer dollars. Hard-earned money to prove nothing. Not a thing. There was no collusion by the Trump administration. We know that. Mueller said so himself. His testimony before the House committee was weak, as he deferred all questions as if he had never investigated anything. Y'all saw that. He made a good paycheck doing nothing. Well, not nothing. He actually brought to light many issues that need to be investigated. How about the bought dossier by Hillary Clinton? Did we also forget about the Clintons sold uranium to the Russians? Yeah. That kind of rolls. That kind of stuff can make a nuclear warhead if they want. How cool is that? Yeah. Rock on Clintons. Suicide connection. Spending all that time investigating Trump when we should have been investigating the Obama administration, especially the Justice Department. From Holder, let's not forget about Holder. Let's not forget about under his time. Fast and Furious. Do we remember this thing? The guns that went into Mexico and then, hey, to stop violence up there, but it ended up being like a backlash on the Justice Department then. No, nobody's talking about that anymore. That's probably in a later podcast. What about Loretta Lynch? Remember that meeting that Loretta Lynch had with Bill Clinton on tarmac? What did they talk about? What did they talk about? Golf? Grandkids? Kids? What did they talk about? Do you think they talked about that? I highly doubt that. Because Bill won the White House back. And who would have really been running the country then? Hillary would have had her hand in it. But, Bill probably would have, tried to dive in somewhere, I don't know, with a cigar or, I'm not quite sure, We can, keep it below the belt on that one. And how many would have died under a Hillary Clinton administration? About as many that have committed suicide during the first Clinton administration and after. Yeah, you got that right. Let's not forget about the Epstein drama. That's in another podcast as well. That is faded in the winds of journalism. Does anyone care about what happened there? He committed suicide and everybody's fine with it. We'll just keep it at that. Yeah, that's going to be more later. We can name a lot of things that the liberals are claiming. They're all false. Because we know what's going on as conservatives. Not to mention that anyone who voted for Trump Our smelly Walmart shoppers. I do shop at Walmart. I take a shower every day. I'm not quite sure if I'm smeller or not. I mean, if you're meet me, you got to tell that. I mean, hell yeah, I shop at Walmart. Fine. I'll be a deplorable because if deplorable means I believe in capitalism, then I will be a deplorable every day. I believe in freedom. I believe in capitalism. I believe in liberty for all. Now, freedom and love of America. So enough of that. Us Trump supporters know we are better. We support our president through and through. Liberals spend most of their time hating Trump more than they love America. Yet I digress a lot because, Trump is doing some great things. I will tell you, they are doing some great things. And now, we'll talk about this. We'll play this. I'm sure you've heard this clip. We're going to play it again. Hopefully it'll do it for me. If it skips, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I'm sure you heard this a million times. But let's listen to it again, and we can talk about this really quick. Here we go. Joe, Uncle Joe.
Desperately concerned about the backsliding on the part of Kyiv in terms of corruption. They made, I'll give you one concrete example. I was, not but it just happened to be, that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones. So I got Ukraine. And I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to the press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time. Well, they made some.
There you go. Well, son of a bitch. He was fired. Well, good for you. Well, good for you, Joe Biden. Way to work that. And, it just, called a I wonder if anybody in Kiev, it's not Kyiv, it's Kiev, Vice President Biden, former Vice President Biden, it's Kiev, not Kyiv, all right? So get your stuff right. But, I wonder if anybody actually tried to call the president from Ukraine. I would have went, let me call the president and let's see, That right there, okay? You want to talk about quid pro quo? That's quid pro quo, okay? I am not going to give you the $1 billion loan guarantee unless you fire a prosecutor, special prosecutor, he may as well just said it, that is, investigating my son's activity in Ukraine. That's Hunter Biden. Investigating Hunter Biden, So then he says, hired a special prosecutor that was of good standing, which now, since the new government's come into Ukraine, they're actually going to get rid of that special prosecutor. And that right there, that tells you a lot about what Uncle Joe, Sleepy Joe, is doing. Now, it blows my mind how far the liberals will go to impeach our president. And we'll just make it right. It stems back to 2016, all right, to the election, all right. They wanted to impeach Trump. Even before the election. And then 2 days later, they're trying to find everything to impeach him with. Well, now the Russians, we went through that for 2.5 years, nothing happened. So that didn't work for them. And Adam Schiff He will not let anybody into his investigation with the impeachment thing. And let me tell you, this is not the way impeachment query goes. We've had 3 others. We've had Andrew Johnson, we've had Richard Nixon, and we've had Bill Clinton. And all 3 of them, the president was allowed to get documents, have counsel present, and question witnesses, etc. Now, this thing may go to the Senate, which, I'm not quite sure if it'll go to the Senate or not, because right now, the liberals in Congress, they're just sitting on the pot, and they're not poo-pooing. You understand what I mean by that? So it's kind of like poo-poo or get off the pot. I'm trying to be nice on that one. So call a vote, do it. They don't have enough evidence to do it. And all the excerpts you see in the news, that's all they want you to hear is that. And it's not good enough. The American people deserve more. We deserve more. We deserve to hear more. And Steve Scalise and a bunch of other Republicans busted into the closed doors in the basement hearings on the impeachment and wanted, hey, we want copies of whatever's going on. We want hard copies of what's going on. We want to know what testimony. We want to know all this stuff. Well, Adam Schiff, being the squirrely skunk piece of poo-poo that he is, said no. Of course, we know he's a liar. I can't believe California. I can't believe his district voted him in. And Pelosi. That really just... that grinds my gear. It really burns my ass. I can't even believe, how can you vote for these guys? How can you vote for them? They are so ridiculous. They have no shred of... President Trump has more dignity, respect in his pinky than you have in your own damn body. So get over yourself. But here you go. This is what we're talking about on when Biden said on that clip, my team. Well, here's my team. This comes from, let's see where we're coming from. We're coming from the Joe Biden worked with whistleblower when he was vice president, of officials reveal. So this is October 10th. The 2020 Democratic candidate with whom the CIA whistleblower had a professional tie is Joe Biden, according to intelligence officers and former White House officials. Lawyers for the whistleblower said he had worked only in the executive branch. And this has come from the Washington Examiner. Okay, the Washington Examiner has established that he is a career CIA analyst who was detailed to the National Security Council at the White House and has since left. Now, on September 26th, the New York Times reported that he was a CIA officer. On October 4th, the newspaper added that he was detailed to the National Security Council at one point. So when Joe Biden was in Ukraine, he said, my team, that guy was there. Well, why didn't he pull a whistleblower on that one? What was wrong with that? Why couldn't he do it then? No, now we're doing it because, well, it's Trump. It's Donald Trump, our president. Phone call, transparency. The whole thing's out there. The transcripts of the call. But now it's, let me just pull like here. It was a quid pro quo. Now, if you believe that, listen to what Joe Biden just said. That was a quid pro quo. We will not give you the $1 billion loan, guaranteed loan, unless you fire that special prosecutor in Ukraine. So who's playing quid pro quo now? And now they're talking about, they want, they meaning like the mainstream media and everybody else, and like justice officials and everything else, they want William Barr recused from this. Why? For doing his job. And they want to impeach President Trump. Why? For doing his job. I'm sick and tired of listening to this crap. This is America, and I am tired of this, okay? We will survive. We will be America, okay? Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting fired up. I'm getting pissed off, but I'll bring it to you again. All right, I will bring it to you again. If you want to hear me, if you want to contact me, just hit me on my Twitter. Spell my name right. Chris, Gerlach. Excuse me. Chris, Gerlach. That's Chris Gerlach at Real World. That's my Twitter. My email currently is realworldconnection@gmail.com. Please, if you agree with this, disagree with this, do whatever. You can hit me on my Facebook. I'm Chris Gerlach. I'm probably the only guy from Louisville, Kentucky in there. Come on, man. This is American Freedom Caucus, bringing you the right stuff and the right news and the real news all the time. Let's keep the world going. Let's be Americans. I'm Chris Gerlach. I'll catch you next time on the American Freedom Caucus.